Okay, so you're probably thinking, where is the qualifying lap and where are the first couple laps of this race? Unfortunately, my capture card didn't, well, it corrupted mid-formation lap, so I only noticed on lap 3, so I managed to save it with the PlayStation recording. So unfortunately, I don't have any qualifying footage, but basically the rundown was I qualified 13th because I wanted to get as close to 11th place as possible, starting on the soft tyre, and I'll try and find some footage of the stream from the commentator. I'm not sure if you can actually see me, but you'll just get a basic rundown of what happened at the start. So sorry about that, but we're starting my footage on lap number 3. Okay, so here we are on lap number 3. We have found our way into 6th place, and we've got Zalan right behind us on the super soft tyre, but he will be pitting in the next couple laps. We're on the soft tyre, so we've had a very good start. Hopefully I found some footage of the first couple laps. And it's at this stage in the race I started to really catch the super soft runners. Obviously their tyres were really going, and I was on fresh softs at this stage, which is why Zalan really wasn't pressuring me too much. He was staying within my slipstream and DRS, but he just did not have the tyre wear to make a move on me. Now coming down the main straight, Rossi sets the fastest lap of the race. Are there going to be any people in the pit? Yes, there is. There's one person in the pit. So we move up into 5th place. And I knew at this stage during the race that I was the highest up on the grid out of the ones starting on fresh tyres. So as long as I could keep up this pace, I'd be leading the race after the first stint. But coming to the end of lap 5, we've got quite a few people coming into the pit, and that's going to promote us to P3 by the looks of it. Yes, it is. We up into P3. P2 now is Rossi pits as well, so you know me. Stays out on super soft tyre for another lap, so he's going to be really struggling. You can see it's just how slow he's having to go through turn 1, and I'm sure we will make a move on him. No, we won't, as he comes into the pit at the end of lap 6. We take the lead of the race. 6 laps in, and we are already leading from 13th on the grid, so this really couldn't have gone much better for us. Coming to the final corner on lap number 8, we're going to come into the pit to fit the medium tyre. And my strategy was starting on the soft tyre, pitting for mediums, and then depending on how long I could take the mediums, maybe going on to the soft tyre at the end, but most likely going on to the mediums just so I could push. Doing what I usually do, just not taking any risks and just doing what I need to do to be able to push the car. So we go on to the medium tyre. I'm actually going to fall quite far behind the field, but I knew most of the top 10 would be doing the 3-stop, or at least really struggling towards the end. We're going to come out of the pit in P13 ahead of Zalan, so that is key. Zalan right behind us, so he's going to, I suspect he's going to overtake us on fresh medium tyres. He's going to look to the inside into turn 4, I think. Can we hold it around the outside? You can get a very good run, but coming through the sector 2, it looks like we're going to be doing the Mercedes in 2014. I decide to pull out of it. I mean, I could have gone for the move, but I'm pretty sure I would have got forced off track, and or there would have been an accident. So I decided to pull out of it, hopefully get into the slipstream with DRS of Zalan. Hopefully he can pull me along and I can stay with him, but he was incredibly quick throughout this entire race. So I was just hoping to save some tyres and do what I'm doing now, get the slipstream with DRS, but out of that corner he was just getting an incredible run. You can see almost halfway down the straight already. We're coming to the end of lap 9, we've got some cars in the pit. We're still within DRS and slipstream of Zalan, but we're going to move up into P12, P11 in fact, as some people come into the pit. And I think that's the soft tyre runners who are trying to make their first stint stretch out as long as possible. Now coming to the end of lap 10, more cars are in the pit, and we move up into P8. You can see Zalan already miles down the field, and he is absolutely flying. We're coming to the end of lap, halfway through lap 13, sorry. We've got quite a few people battling for, I think this is P5 or possibly P4. But I just needed to get through this field quickly. They were on old soft tyres. These were the people that started on the super soft tyres. So their tyre wear was a lot worse than mine, and I just needed to get through them quickly. Obviously they were in a slipstream train, so it's quite difficult to actually overtake them. I think at this stage in the race, slipstream, I don't think the slipstream glitch was in this race, so I still had the slipstream and the DRS, but with everyone just in a line, it was very difficult to overtake. We're coming to the end of lap 13. Yarham pulls into the pit, and we have DRS on him and the slipstream on AMS in the McLaren, and I knew that he would be tyre saving. He's on the medium tyre, so he had made the right decision. But you can see through turn 1, just going so slowly. Obviously he's trying to save tyres, And yeah, I just needed to get past him as quickly as possible. I knew, I mean, it was unlikely I was going to win this race because Zalan was absolutely flying. But I knew second place, or at least a podium, was definitely possible if I could get past AMS within this lap at least. As we're coming through towards Sector 3 on lap number 14, trying to get a good run out of the penultimate corner. But AMS, I think he runs manual gears. I'm pretty sure he does, because he was just getting tremendous traction out of the corner. Still in his slipstream, and I think by the look of it, the slipstream glitch has appeared in this race, so that's going to make it more difficult for me. Coming on to lap number 15, I thought he was going to come into the pit, but no. We have the DRS and the slipstream. Can we make a move down towards turn 1? We're quite far back. With the OP DRS, can we make a move towards turn 1? We have a look up the inside, and we decide not to dive inside. Probably a smart decision. You can see he's just holding us up so much. We really need to get past him quickly. This really wasn't ideal in the mid part of the race. We can see coming to the final corner, we're a lot closer to him than the previous attempt. We get a reasonably good run out the final corner. Can we get past him? We're really close onto the back of him. DRS and the slipstream. We're going to go to the inside, trying to stay behind him as long as possible. Going to the inside. We have the inside of turn 1, and luckily he doesn't fight us. I knew his tyres were pretty bad at this stage, and we make a move for 4th position. Zalan just ahead of us in 3rd position, but I was pretty sure I was not going to catch him. So for now we sit in 4th position, and with a few other people pitting, that is going to promote us to P3, possibly P2. Rossi is in the pit, and that is it. So we go up into P3 thanks to pit stops. I'm pretty sure the only people out on track at this stage were Zalan and Yunomi. Yeah, Yunomi coming into the pit at the end of lap number 17. So that promotes us into P2. Zalan at this stage had pretty much won this race, unless he bottled it on the strategy. But coming to the end of lap 18, Zalan pulls into the pit for his final stop. And I didn't know what tyres he was going to go onto. If he went onto the soft tyres, I honestly don't think he would have made it to the end. But I think he does go onto the medium tyre from memory. But on the next lap, we come into the pit, and we're going to decide to pit on the medium tyre so we can push to the end. We've got Mr. Stim behind us, so I was really hoping that he was not going to help me up in the pit, and I think it's okay. Mr. Stim, most of the F6 people were really on it during this race, but Mr. Stim was absolutely nowhere. I don't know if he had any problems or anything, but he was just not on the pace. He got onto a soft tyre, and the second I saw that, I was pretty sure he was not going to make it to the end, or at least struggle incredibly towards the end. We just get out ahead of Rossi as we go through turn 1, through turn 2, and now turn 3. He's going to get a better run out of turn 1 though, and he has the inside line for turn 4. We're going to try and go side by side of him, try and do the Rosberg and Hamilton in Bahrain once again, but he just has the grip. We are obviously on the cold tyres, and he makes a move up the inside into sector 2, but he's been on the soft tyres for quite a while, so I was expecting him to pit without a doubt. He was not making it to the end. I knew he wasn't, but in the next couple laps we were just within DRS of him, so he, just like we did with Zalan, was pulling us down the straight, allowing us to just close the gap slightly. We obviously weren't close enough to make a move into turn 1 there, but throughout the next few laps we just got closer and closer to him. It doesn't look so as much now, but we were getting closer to him. Obviously his tyre was getting worse. We were able to push to the end, but we were just closing the gap to Rossi. I was kind of expecting to have a battle just before he went into the pit. But the end of lap 23, does he go into the pit at the end of this lap? No, he doesn't. So he says that for another lap. You can see we have closed the gap massively. Right onto the... Wow, you can see the gap we've closed with the DRS and, well, the lack of slipstream thanks to the glitch. We're coming through turn 1. We are right onto the back of the Haas driver. Now onto lap 24. Coming through the final corner, and you can see he's going to the right. He's going to go into the pit at the end of this lap, fitting the super soft tyre, and he's pretty much lost a decent points finish. I can't remember if he actually gets into the points. I feel like he does. But that promotes us to P3, Zalan in 3rd. So there's one person ahead of us yet to pit, and that is Yunomi, who was on the soft tyre, and I knew he was going to be really struggling towards the end. That's something I do in practice. I focus quite heavily on how far I can take the tyres, so I sort of know what everyone's going to do. Obviously I don't know what their tyre wear is like, but that's something I focus on in practice, so I know what everyone's doing, or have a brief idea. We're coming on to lap 27. Yunomi has stayed down. Looks like he's going to go to the end. We've got Ash Best right behind us on the soft tyre. And just like I said, he did have the pace to catch into back of me, but thanks to the slipstream glitch and thanks to tyre wear, he didn't have the grip to actually make a move. He was able to, much like I was with Rossi and Zalan, he was able to stay in my slipstream and DRS. But because of the glitch and because of tyre wear, he just could not make a move, despite getting very, very close towards the end. As we come on to the penultimate lap, I feel like going through turn 1, if you look on the minimap, Yunomi actually got a puncture at this point, or before he went into the pit, sorry. And he decides to stay out on track, which was incredibly optimistic of him. I feel like he knew that if he went into the pit, he would drop out the points anyway. But on this game, with a puncture, you're just so slow. I think he definitely made the wrong decision. As you will see later on in the race, we can see in the top left, Zalan has taken the lead of the race. As we go on to the final lap, Ashbest has dropped back slightly thanks to his tyre wear. And it looks like we're going to come home in 3rd place for now. But Yunomi with a puncher, and I'm sure we're going to catch in the back of him. He's just obviously going incredibly slow. You can see on the mini-map just how close he is and how far he's dropped off on the back of Zalan. As we go on to the back straight, there is Yunomi in the Haas. And it's been a bad day for Haas. We are going to take 2nd place off him. And Ash Best is going to take that final podium spot. With just 2 straights to go, I don't think Ash will have the tyre wear to make a move for 2nd place. And I actually got told in the previous lap that he had a penalty. I didn't have any penalties, so I knew at that point I had 2nd place. So it was a lot more relieving on the final lap, just knowing I would get 2nd place. And after a very disappointing race in Australia, obviously only making it to lap 2 or lap 3, can't quite remember, but very early on in the race, Zalan wins the race. We come out the final corner, and we're going to take 2nd place at the Bahrain Grand Prix, starting from 13th on the grid. We had the strategy to make our way through the field, and there is confirmation. Zalan takes the race win. We take 2nd. Ashbest comes home in 3rd. And Malk comes home in 4th position from 17th on the grid. Fragglepool takes 5th thanks to penalties. AMS comes home in 6th position, with Courtois in 7th. Rossi starting on pole, and we disappointed to finish in 8th position. Johan finishes in 9th. And Ardio takes the final point in Bahrain. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, remember to smash the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. Sorry about the lack of footage for qualifying and the first couple laps, but hopefully I found something from the commentator's point of view. But thank you guys for watching, and see ya!